Come on, Fitzy.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike. It is the 28th of June, and we have so much to go through. I didn't think that what happened last night would be so cataclysmic as it was. That, believe it or not, has overtaken the Sol news, which we will get to second. So first of all, if you're new here, smash the like button. Don't forget to give us a follow. Just under 142,000 followers so far. We've got Solana, we have the options expiry, we have the ETH news, we have Cohen, alt season, AVAX, 4 to watch for the month of July, and all of that is going to be done in one whole hour of your time. And the title of the show today, Bitcoin, ETH, and Sol. I wonder what we could be talking about there. Good morning to everybody in chat. Good morning to Mags, Hidden Agendas, Richard, Velvet Rope. Welcome to all of you. I hope you are doing well. Let's give it a few minutes for some more people to arrive in chat. Remember, if you are here, smash the like button and comment. It helps the algorithm and it helps us. So first of all, let's start very quickly then with the markets. I was going to start with this, but I'm not. We will get to that in a minute. Bitcoin is coming in at 61.4. We're going to talk about that when we go through the Bitcoin chart. 61.3 and holding 61.3 for me today is absolutely vital. This is not only the end of June, it is the end of the quarter, it is the end of the half year. It is a massive day today for options, and we're going to go through that. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, we will go on. Sol to 1,000 then. Possibly more. I've made a video about Solana giving you my predictions of where it will go in the bull run. I said without an ETF, I said 650 by the end of the bull run. With an ETF, I think 1,100 by the end of the bull run. However, the news coming out is a little bit more bullish than I am. People are talking about an 8 to 9x from where we are now. That puts Solana at about $1,400, but we will get to that. So Bitcoin is coming in at 61.4, ETH again 34.34. BNB, after its excitement of breaking $600, is sitting quite nicely at 575, and there is Solana up 6.6% at $145. I think it touched 150, but it has retraced a little bit. Gainers then over the last 24 hours: Akash, Book of Meme, Conflux, Polkadot. Lots of people talking about Polkadot. Lots of people talking about the fact it's broken its downward trend. Is Polkadot going to go on a run? Let's wait and see. Avalanche is up. We've got some news about Avalanche today. Dupe is back over 80 cents at 83. Bonk is up. Lots of Solana-based projects having a good few hours. Now then, at the bottom there, you've got Fetch, Singularity, and I imagine Oceans is in here as well. The merge is happening in 3 days' time. July the 1st, we will have the merge. So that is when Fetch, Singularity, and Oceans become the ASI token. I have big expectations of that. I do think AI is going to be one of maybe 3 different narratives for next year. We've got AI, real world assets, and then maybe Deepin. And then we might as well throw Solana in now for good luck as well. So that's the markets. Let's get on with the X-Files. And we have to talk about this first. I can't leave it on screen permanently because I'll get copyright struck. But suffice to say, this was an absolute unparalleled disaster for Biden. He lost his train of thought several times. He didn't know what he was saying. Even Donald Trump. I mean, Donald Trump didn't just win this. Donald Trump finished Biden's campaign. Why was this done at the end of June? These are normally done in September, October, because within the next 3 or 4 weeks, Joe Biden is going to get replaced. That is my, if I was a betting man, I would say that Joe Biden will not be standing for election in November. They will find a replacement. I don't know if Robert Kennedy is now another party. I think he said he was going to become a different party from the Democrats. Who knows? All I know, even when you had CNN and you had everything going for Biden, he still absolutely bottled it. He's had weeks to prepare for this. He couldn't string his words together. CNN brought in a fact checker, and instead of checking Trump, he spent the entire show fact checking Biden. Biden got everything wrong. This couldn't have gone any worse. Now, why is that bullish for crypto? I can't bring them up because of what we are talking about in some places, but basically, Trump is pro-crypto. He has switched from being fairly neutral to against to being very positive. So Trump is clearly the man for the hour as far as crypto is concerned. Now then, we have 2 tweets regarding the very unbelievable news with regards to Solana and its ETF. VanEck has filed for a Solana ETF. Firm's research theorizes bull case of $3,200 by the end of 2030. Do I think that is unrealistic? No. I think if we get somewhere north of $1,000 this bull run, then I think $3,000 by the end of the next bull run is entirely possible, simply because Solana is the retail blockchain of choice. It doesn't matter what anybody says to me now. The narrative on Solana is so bullish that you would be remiss not to have any Solana in your portfolio. I've been saying now for a month or so, Ethereum is going to be TradFi's blockchain of choice. Solana is retail blockchain of choice. Everybody wants a piece of Solana. Ondo, have connected up USDY to Solana. WorldCoin, which we're going to go through, is connecting up to Solana. Why? Because that's where retail is going to go. It's so obvious. They've telegraphed this. So for me, this is massively bullish news. Again, let's not focus on $3,200 because they are moon boy math right now. That's 6 years away. Let's focus on the here and now. Where are we going to get to on Solana, given all of this news? So Matthew Siegel, who is from VanEck, they have published the Solana ETF application. Now, the interesting thing here is that I have been saying that this wasn't going to be applied for until the Ethereum ETF was live. That's what I said. Now, where were VanEck on Monday? If you watch the show on Monday, Tuesday, because it was Americans Monday, yes. If you watch the show on Tuesday, what did I show you on Tuesday? I showed you VanEck sitting in the offices of the SEC on Tuesday. Today is Friday. On Thursday, they have applied for the Solana ETF. I have said they're not going to apply until the Ethereum ETF has been approved. Connect the dots. And where do the dots meet? The dots meet on July the 4th. That is when I think the Ethereum ETF is going to go live. They would never apply for the Solana ETF until Ethereum has been approved. It's clearly been approved. So we have 2 in the bag, and Solana is going to be third. The question of the day, by the way, if you are in chat, is the Solana ETF going to be in 2024 or 2025? 57% of you have said 24 and 43% of 25, which is interesting because it's not going to take that long. It is not going to take that long at all. We're not going to go through all of that tweet, by the way. That was too much to pass on to you. Anthony Scaramucci, I believe Biden is the right choice for America long term, and it has to do with what I know about Trump. Very negative on Bitcoin while president. Now he's done a 180 because he wants your vote. Bitcoin has gone from 17 to 70,000 in the Biden administration. What a load of nonsense. It hasn't gone from 17 to 70,000 in the Biden administration because the Biden administration has been in power for almost 4 years. So we've gone from all-time highs all the way down through the bear market of 17,000 and back to 70,000. It's the same cycle every 4 years. You cannot attribute Biden's tenure to the success of Bitcoin. So be very careful about that narrative because it's nonsense. Absolute poppycock, as you would say if you were old English. Good morning to Danny. Welcome to the stream. Remember, if you are in chat, say hello, leave a comment, let me know what you were up to. So, Dan, crypto trades. Since the Mt. Gox news, altcoins have seen a steady rise in market dominance, which supports my idea. Alts look relatively more attractive than Bitcoin due to the new Bitcoin supply overhang, short term in the least, makes dip buyers more likely to actually buy alts versus Bitcoin. Again, I think a lot of the alts are oversold. A lot of other people on X and on YouTube also believe many alts are oversold. And even though they're a lot higher than they were this time last year, most of them have retraced to November's prices. So it is a good time to start thinking about getting into alts. Absolutely. Good morning, Chris. Welcome to the stream. So WorldCoin's World ID is to expand to Solana. Wormhole Labs has secured a grant from the WorldCoin Foundation to integrate World ID into the Solana ecosystem. I am not a fan of this at all, but I am obviously not going to give my opinions on why it's a bad idea, but let's just say it's not a great idea at all. Moving very swiftly on then, let's have a look. BlackRock bought shares of its spot Bitcoin ETF for its global allocation fund. Now, again, when we saw the Bitcoin ETF go live, that wasn't the end. That was the end of the beginning of the battle. And the end of the beginning was getting institutional acceptance of Bitcoin as an asset class. The same with Ethereum, the same with Solana. Once we get to 4 or 5 of these different ETFs, we're pretty much home and dry. Now, the question is, how long is it going to take for Bitcoin to permeate through all of these different ETFs and funds in America and Europe and Asia and everywhere else? I would say a good 2 years. So if we're going from, let's say, January 2024, we shouldn't be seeing the full impact of Bitcoin until January 2026. Maybe a bit earlier, maybe a bit later. Maybe it coincides with the bull run, which is November 2025, but around that time. Now, BlackRock are going to start to feed Bitcoin into their own ETFs, as well as Goldman Sachs and everybody else. They're going to start to feed Bitcoin in as a 1, 2, 3% allocation into their other funds. It's going to take time, but when it happens, we're going to see, in my opinion, a more stable, higher priced Bitcoin than we have today. The market cap will be higher, maybe 3, 4, 5 trillion. We won't be seeing 10% moves in a week in Bitcoin anymore. Maybe we'll be seeing 5% moves. The bigger the market cap, the harder it is for, leverage to play a major part. So for me, it's positive news for you and your bags, and obviously a positive news for all the other ETFs that are coming along, the Ethereum ETF especially, and the Solana ETF. Now then, this is the next problem. That is, there is a 9.25 billion Bitcoin options expiry happening today. And this is a problem. The market overreacts to these Fridays. The last Friday of every month is options expiry. That's one thing. The last Friday of every quarter is bigger because some people trade on 3 months and you've got the monthly. So you've got the 1 month and the 3 month. And of course, we're halfway through the year. It's the end of June. Why does that matter? Because most traders go away in July and August. So it's a big day today. There's always big days in crypto, but today is a big day. So there's 9.25 billion in options expiries today. Now, there are certain prices that Bitcoin can be at for max pain, and there's prices Bitcoin can be at for the least amount of pain. And that is prices where, people either make a profit or don't make a massive loss. And that's what today is all about. Now, we don't care about Nvidia. We don't care about that. So Bitcoin remains near 61,500. The rights to buy Bitcoin at 62 and 64 will not take part in the expiry. Put sales at 58 and 60 are rendered null. So, if we sit where we are today, there will be no pain because we are sitting between 58 and 60, above that, and below 62 and 64. So we don't need to worry. There is no forced purchase or forced sale at those prices. Bitcoin bulls have weak macroeconomic data on their side, which favours a more aggressive rate cut and stimulus. Remember, as soon as the rate cut starts, the money printer goes burr in America, and then everything goes up. Sales of new US single-family homes dropped to a 6-month low. That's what the Fed wants. Unemployment, low inflation, and low house buying. That's all they care about. More concerningly, at the current sales price, it would take 9.3 months to clear the new house supply, up from 8.1 months in April. Charles Schwab report noted that the current finance market dynamics mirror 2021. So it's again, they need to basically, what they're trying to do is they're trying to put the American economy is like a fighter jet, and they're putting into a vertical climb to try and get away from inflation. The problem is, the longer and further that plane goes up, the jet goes up, the more likely it is to stall. And when it stalls and it runs out of oxygen, it's going to come crashing down. What they have to do now is turn the engines back on with a bit more oxygen. And that comes in the rate cuts that they're going to make, which I still think is going to be somewhere in July and August. I know one of the months we don't have the meeting, so it's going to happen sooner rather than later. I think July. We're going to get the ETF approval in July and live in July. Don't be bearish. This is not the time to be bearish. There is no imminent risk for the bull market, but advice that more members will need to start joining the party for the music to stay on. Again, this is, like I say, I wouldn't be trading today. I would not be trading on this day. It's just too dangerous. Bitcoin bulls need 64,000 to avoid losses. It's just got the breakdown here. Again, I'm not too sure we're going to see too much of a move. I think we're going to sit at 61.4, and I'm going to show you why now. And we've been talking about this price all week. Go back, look at the streams, look at where we were talking. Good morning, Solo Sky. Welcome back. So, all week, I have been saying that 64,000 really is the breakout, which is there. But we also have to try and stay above this price here, which is about 61.3, 61.260, 61.3. That's the bottom of the bull market support band. Now, yes, we came down, we wicked below, but we've come back up. So for me, staying above 61.3 today would be majorly bullish. Now, what I think could happen today, later on this evening, I would expect an announcement from the SEC approving the Ethereum ETF. I'm expecting that tonight because it's Friday. If this is going to go live on July the 4th, that's a week today. Some people are saying July the 2nd. That's next Wednesday. We don't have a lot of time. So if it's not approved tonight, then my July the 4th is null and void. However, if it is approved, I expect this kind of move back towards 64,000. If it's not, then as long as we hold 61.3, we're all good. And the longer we stay at these levels, the more sustained the bull run is likely to be. If we were at 85 to 95 to $100,000 today, I'd be thinking that the bull run is likely to finish August, September next year. As it is, the way we're going, I think if we finish the year anywhere around $80 to $90,000, I think that's been a good 2024 going into 2025, because then we could see really big numbers on Ethereum and Solana and Bitcoin next year. But as we are, this is a good price to be settling at. There really isn't anything to worry about. Again, we do have 58 down there. Let's put another line in. That's the level I think we need to hold. We did wick down to it. That's 58.4. We have wicked down to it, but we didn't go below it. And I think we've seen off the worst. I think we've had 5 days there to carry on, and we didn't. We held the line. Now, I don't know if you remember, but we spoke about 60,000. Where did we talk about 60,000? Was it? I think it was here. We spoke about holding the line at 60,000 there, and we did. And we've done the same thing again. So I think if we pass today, I think we can take 58,000 off the table for a while, and I think we should be looking upwards. So for me, I can't see us. If there is some volatility today, maybe we do wick down to 58,800, 59,000. But there's also a lot of liquidity above us at 64,000. We shall have to wait and see. Bullish Bull, good morning. Sol, sol, sol. Indeed, sol, sol, sol. That's what we're looking for. Now we're going to get on to look at Ethereum. Now, this is being overlooked, mainly because a lot more people like Solana than like Ethereum. But, as I said, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Sol next. It's the title of the show. Ethereum. Can we see $5,000 for Ethereum when it goes live? Yes and no, which sounds like I'm sitting on the fence, but it's not, and I'll tell you why after this article. As July approaches, the spot Ethereum ETF, which received the partial green light on May the 23rd, near their official launch, many investors wonder if the price of Ethereum will follow Bitcoin. The answer, however, lies in the future, which may begin in a few days. While waiting, the on-chain analysis provides actionable insights. So, Gary Gensler, as we've already said, it's going smoothly. We don't need to talk about that. Being Crypto has been monitoring behavior towards ETH. ETH is doing relatively well in the market. We don't need to worry too much about that. There's the chart. We have long-term holder information here. We don't need to worry too much about that. Ethereum is taking Bitcoin out of the way. Perception alone cannot push the price. Therefore, we evaluate another indicator, which is the ETH-Bitcoin ratio. This ratio tells us whether Bitcoin is outperforming Ethereum. We know about that, and we've covered that before on the channel. We're going to move on. I'm going to move on. This is a lot of information I don't want to read out because it's not that important. What I would say is that the Ethereum price is not, Ethereum's price has not priced in the ETF. That is my argument. And I'm not going to bother reading any of this. I just wanted the $5,000 headline, and I'm going to tell you why. There's two scenarios, and one of them I think is slightly more likely than the other. So scenario number one, Ethereum has been in this downward trend. We have just broken it here. The Ethereum ETF is announced going live on July the 4th. We go there. $4,000. Okay, so it's not a massive move. It's a 15% move, something like that. That'll happen over a couple of days. Then Ethereum is going to be stuck. That's my next price target, which is 4,600. Now, if you remember what happened when the Bitcoin ETF went live, everybody is expecting it to go to the moon. And what happened? Grayscale happened. Grayscale happened and proceeded to dump on the market for the last 2 months, suppressing the price of Bitcoin along the way. What will happen to Ethereum if history repeats itself and Grayscale starts to dump the Ethereum? I think we will come back to $4,000. That's what I think. If it doesn't, then we are easily going to clear $5,000. Now, as in before the end of the year, now, in the next 6 months. And I don't know the answer. I don't know if GETH, which is the Grayscale Ethereum Trust, I don't know if it's going to dump on the market. But based on what happened with Bitcoin, I can see the same thing happening again. And then guess what else Grayscale has? Grayscale has a Solana trust. So what do we think is going to happen to Solana when that Solana ETF gets approved? I think we're all going to expect $1,000 Solana by the end of the year, and we might end up at $600 because what's happened is this Ethereum and this Solana is trapped in the Grayscale trust. Now, there is an argument to say that Bitcoin was trading at a discount, so it couldn't be sold. So when Bitcoin was at $50,000, your Grayscale Bitcoin trust was only worth $44,000. And then when it was converted, they made that extra 15% and they dumped. There is that argument because Ethereum and Solana are trading at a premium. So I think $4,000 is the next leg up for Ethereum. The closer we get to go live, we could push up towards 4,600, and then it all depends if people want to take profits. Would you want to take profits at $6,000 ETH? That's the question you got to ask yourself. We're at 3,400. If you put $10,000 into Ethereum today, and you knew you could get $16,000 in 3 months' time, would you put the $10,000 in and then take out the $10,000 investment and keep your $6,000 worth of Ethereum? That's a possibility. So again, we've got to be careful about profit taking. Lots of Bitcoin maxis, lots of Bitcoin people have been taking profits along the way. 74, 70, 68,000 have been taking profits. What's kept the market going has been the Big 12 or the Big 11, who have been buying up all of the supply from the people selling and taking profits, and the miners, which are capitulating, don't forget. So are we going to see the same thing with Ethereum? Are we going to see profit taking? Remember, some people have been holding Ethereum since $70, $100. I was buying Ethereum at $70 or so. Would I be crazy not to take a profit at $4,000 or $5,000? Possibly. So, although we want to go to the moon, we have to understand that it never happens how we want it to happen. I'd be happy for a $4,500 Ethereum by the end of the year, $4,600 by the end of the year. I'd be more than happy with that. I don't think the Bitcoin ETH chart is going to break now. I think it will break over time and slowly. Remember, with Bitcoin, I was saying before, 2 years for Bitcoin to fully get into all of these different funds, the global funds, the investment funds, the 401ks, all of that's going to take years. It doesn't happen overnight. With Ethereum, if Ethereum goes live on July the 4th or whatever it is, July the 10th, it's got 6 months delay behind Bitcoin. So everything that Bitcoin is doing now, Ethereum will be doing at the end of the year if it's been approved. And that could be appearing in BlackRock's global fund. It could be appearing in 401ks like it's starting to do now. Is it going to be held as a treasury asset by blue chip companies? That's a question I've not seen asked before. Bitcoin certainly is. Is Ethereum? Time will tell. So for me, we have 2 scenarios. We go to 4,000 upon the news of it going live. We then rip up to the day, maybe 4,600. And then if Grayscale dumps over the following weeks, we could come back to $4,000. If it doesn't, and if it's been at a premium, or if it's at par, we might not see the same dump. And then we could push on towards $5,000. But I've been saying $6,000 for a long time, but I don't think it's a gimme right now. I think, as I said, $4,000 is a significant move for Ethereum. And getting to $5,000, I think there's a 90% chance of being at $4,000 and a 10% chance of being at $5,000 within a month of the ETF going live. But we should take those gains. It's still a 15% gain from where we are today. We should take those gains and go into the bull run with an Ethereum ETF, because hype is going to drive that bull run. And yes, maybe we're going to see $15,000 ETH. Maybe we do see $250,000 Bitcoin. But we also want to see the $1,000, $1,500 Solana as well. So let's get Ethereum over the line. That's stage one. Then let's assess where we are by the end of the year. If we're somewhere in north of $4,000 towards $5,000 by the end of the year, I will be more than delighted. Now, we've mentioned this a few times on the channel, and that is VCs. Where is VC money going? And I said to you a month or so ago that VC money this year has been piling into AI. It hasn't been piling into crypto. Crypto was 2 years ago. Crypto was 2022. AI is 2024. They invest 2, 3, 4 years before they expect their returns. So Cohen has pivoted away from crypto to focus on AI. This is the first article I've actually seen on this. Now, again, should this make you bullish on AI and not bullish on crypto? Absolutely not. What it should do is make you bullish on both combined, and that is holding AI crypto assets, especially the bigger ones. ASI, NEAR, maybe Render, those kind of coins, especially ones that have got deals. Apple, of course, is mentioned. Nvidia is mentioned. Those are the things that will push us forward. We covered a great project yesterday. We covered Orange yesterday, which is building a layer 1 that already has AI tools built into it to allow games, metaverses to have AI integration. So all of that is on the cards. But VCs, they're the ones that go first. They're the first movers. According to a recent report by Forbes, Point72 Ventures, an early-stage venture capital firm that was launched by billionaire Stephen Cohen, is ditching fintech and crypto in order to focus on AI. Several inventors from fintech and crypto teams have been fired. Apart from AI, Cohen's VC firm has also prioritized defense industry startups. Again, read the room. AI and defense. If you've been watching anything in the news recently, you will have seen the drone armies, You will have seen the lasers that the UK Navy have mounted on their ships. You will know that AI in defence budgets is going to start taking up a part of it. We know about drones that can facial recognition on drones, all those kind of things. So it's big business, and whether you agree with it or not, it's big business, and VCs don't care about morality. They never have. So it keeps optimizing its strategy based on emerging market opportunities. Cohen, whose net worth is estimated to be $20 billion, revealed that he owned a little bit of Bitcoin during a CNBC interview. He said that he had dipped his toes into the largest cryptocurrency because of his son, who showed him how to perform transactions on a crypto exchange. During the interview, the billionaire admitted that Bitcoin was interesting, but also stated that he did not have a strong opinion on the cryptocurrency. It won't make him a return. A return for you and I is 5x or a 10x. A return for a VC firm is 50 to 100x. We're not the same. At the same time, he expressed a bullish sentiment towards AI, arguing that the current craze reminded him of the internet boom in the 90s that managed to produce some of the best companies of today. He said that he was fully converted to crypto, adding that he was still early. Now it seems he has switched to AI. Chinese fintech behemoth Ant Group also abandoned the crypto market to invest in AI. Now you can take advantage of this. If you know that VCs are going after AI, you should also consider going after AI. How do you do that and combine it with crypto? Let's close some of these things down. CoinMarketCap is your friend. You type in AI, you click on categories, you go to AI and big data. This will then provide you with a lovely list of the top AI and big data tokens by market cap. Now, don't go and think you should be buying the 10 million, 5 million market cap coins because they're going to 100x. Personally, that's not where I am in the market right now. I am getting ready for the bull run. I own Near Protocol. I own Fetch. I own Singularity. I'm okay with Render. I'm okay with the Graph. I'm okay with Injective. It's quite a good project. I think I hold a little bit Injective as well. I'm okay. In fact, IOZ, I think I said was going to easily breach $1 in the near future. It's at 54 cents right now. I'm okay with Arkham. IO.net, which is more of a deep in project, but still, again, it's going to do incredibly well. Very low market cap. Don't really look below 200 or 300 million. You know, maybe go down as far as PAL would be the lowest I would start to look at. Yes, one or two of them might do a 20 or 40x in the bull run, but you want to start thinking about locking in your gains, and being speculative at this stage of the market for me is not where I want to be. So, you know, I only started to buy Near Protocol in, when was it? April, May, something like that. I've held Singularity and I've held Fetch for nearly a year and a half, maybe 2 years now. So have a look at that. That's how you go and take advantage of it, because these AI projects, Near Protocol was an AI project before it moved to the blockchain. It's got fingers in pies with NVIDIA. You don't need to know any more than that. It's going to do incredibly well. I'm not going to say it's going to go to a $500 million market cap, $500 billion market cap, should I say, but it's going to do substantially well in the next 2 years. So think about that. You don't have to suddenly ditch crypto to go chasing the next big dream. Remember, a lot of these deals that the VC companies get, you're never going to get invited to that party. So you have to find ways to get involved. AIM is another possibility, which is the alternative stock markets. Again, highly speculative. Stick to crypto AI. That would be my advice. The same with real world asset tokenization. Stick to the ones in the top 10 on those. That's what's going to get you a decent return. Now then, is alt season around the corner? Real Vision analyst reveals key indicators. Who is in chat, by the way? Good morning to Tariq and Peter. Welcome back. I hope you are both doing incredibly well. What time is it? 11:38, and we've got just enough time to get this done. So Jamie Couts on Thursday presented an optimistic outlook for high-quality altcoins. I think I've just been saying this, highlighting that the current setup appears increasingly favourable as global liquidity gears up for expansion. In a post on X, he noted, so many adverts on these websites these days, that the top 200 equal weight versus market cap weight ratio has hit extreme bearish levels. I think a lot of these alts are oversold. I have been saying this. We are looking back at November prices. That was pre the Bitcoin ETF. And I think we are due for a movement in the market. And Ethereum ETF approval could start that. The Solana ETF applications going in from BlackRock could certainly start that. Interest rates coming down in July could certainly start that. I think that's the way forward. I think high quality alts are not bad to be buying. Now, could we go lower? Yes. Do I think we're going to go as low as Kabir's $50,000? No. We could go down to, I don't know, 58,000 in a wick, maybe. So if you've got $1,000 or $10,000 to start putting into crypto today, you really should be looking at some of the top AI, RWA, even meme coins, some of the Solana, certainly. Those kind of coins is where you should be looking for your returns. AVAX as well. AVAX is really low right now. Link is really low right now. We're going to have a look at that in a minute. So start to think about, are you light? I've said it a couple of times. Is your portfolio light in areas? Do you have AI? Do you have layer ones? Do you have the decent layer twos? Do you have a couple of meme coins that you think are going to do well? Like, do you have Bonk or Brett or Pepe or Dog with Hat? Do you have that? Have a look at your portfolio and make sure it's balanced. DeFi projects as well, have a look at the DEXs. Make sure you're fully balanced for the bull run. Remember, the bull run, it doesn't peak on the same day for everything. This is what I think a lot of people are confused about. If we say the bull run is going to finish in November next year, it doesn't finish in November next year for everything. It could be November for Bitcoin. It could be December for Ethereum. It could be October or January for some of the alts. The DEXs might run till February 2026. Not everything finishes the same race at the same time. And when Bitcoin pauses for breath, the alts run. So maybe Bitcoin is the first one to stop in October and then the alts run. We don't really know. And anybody that tells you absolutely that this is how it's going to happen isn't probably being very truthful. We think Bitcoin will finish first, then Ethereum second, and then the rest. But then we have a Solana ETF. Believe you me, if we get that Solana ETF today, we're going to have another application for another ETF going in before the end of the year. And all bets are off. What's that going to be? Is it going to be Litecoin? Is it going to be... Let's get rid of that advert. Is it going to be... I've seen people mention AVAX. I've seen people mention Near Protocol. We don't know what the next one is going to be. I think it could be Litecoin. Other people think it could be Near. Even Cardano. We don't know. So... despite the small sample size, Coutts suggests that this breadth measure hints at an upcoming cyclical bottom and mid-cycle entry. That is a mouthful and a half. While momentum still sucks, the ratio tells us that things are close to washed out at a time when global liquidity is about to turn higher. The risk-reward setup looks increasingly favourable for high-quality alts. Don't fade the alts because they are in a downturn. I'm going to bring up one of the charts now, I think. I'm going to bring up Link, even though we're going to go and talk about Link in a minute. And I'm going to give you an example. I've seen a few comments coming in. Convex Finance, it will fly. Ada. Do you know what, Reza? It could be Ada. And Peter, I think if you've got a high conviction play, nobody should try and talk you out of it. If you've done the research into a project, this goes for anything, by the way. I am massively bullish on projects I think are going to make revenue and in turn profit. I am old enough, grey enough, wrinkly enough to remember what happened when the internet started, which is probably before many of you were born. That was a time when all and sundry were launching projects, ridiculous projects, free projects that didn't make any money. And what happened when the money ran out? You might have heard of the dot-com bubble. You probably don't know what happened in the dot-com bubble, and I'm going to tell you. There were 10,000 projects that 500 VCs pumped hundreds of millions of dollars into, and 9,999 of them went bust. And out of the ashes came a few projects that made money. Making money. If you are looking at a project, like Peter's mentioned, Convex Finance, if I said to Peter now in chat, can you tell me how it makes money? Peter would be able to answer that question. If I said to you, are you going to go and buy Chainlink? Are you going to go and buy Duke? Are you going to go and buy Uniswap? Are you going to go and buy Solana? If you can't tell me how it makes money, then you shouldn't be investing in it. Because when the money runs out, there is not a pit of money with a leprechaun sitting at it that these companies go to and say, can you give me an extra $50 million to keep this blockchain running? Absolutely, there you go. Doesn't happen. A VC will look at a project and go, you've had 4 years and you've delivered zero. We are not giving you any money. And if you think that isn't going to happen, you're going to have a very rude awakening in about 2 or 3 years' time. Because when we hit that bear market, and we are going to hit a bear market, a lot of these projects are going to go to the wall. So if it doesn't make money, don't invest in it. Okay? Fetch and Singularity are going to combine and create ASI. It's going to make money because it has a business model. If you look at Chainlink, it has a business model. It's processed $13 trillion and it's taken a fraction of a fraction of that money. It's a gold mine. Jupiter is going to process billions in transactions in the bull run. It's clear as day how it makes money. If you say to me, oh, you need to go and invest in Agrago Coffee Dex, or not Coffee Dex, Coffee Lamp. Okay, what does it do? Well, it kind of does this, that, and the other. How does it make money? Well, it doesn't really need to make money at the minute. You know, sell it. It's never going to happen. Wait for it to pump, dump it. Okay? Meme coins. How do meme coins make money? How does a meme coin generate revenue? It stops being a meme coin and becomes a community coin. Bonk makes money, believe it or not. Pepe makes money, believe it or not. They have community projects where they have bots, they have their own DEX, which is integrated from somebody else. They make money. But dog with hat or your new one that comes out the window, that doesn't make any money. So be very careful when somebody tells you this is the next Bitcoin, this is the next Ethereum killer, because all it's going to kill is your portfolio. I can't say that word. Anyway, Chainlink. Why am I showing you Chainlink before I've gone through the article? Very simply, nearly every single alt, in fact, I'm going to show you the price. It's $14.27, but it doesn't really matter. Let's get it off the screen. Right. Nearly every single alt worth its note is in this same pattern, and that is down here. Now, can you see what happened here and here and here? Chainlink, with everything else, moved up in October. Started to get range bound between about $13 and about $18. We're currently at $14. We are in a bull run. We are not in a bear market. That is also an incredibly important thing to remember. If we were in a bear market, I would be having a different conversation with you. We're in a bear market. Things go up over time in a bear market. Given that we have seen a recent top of $22 for Chainlink, and we are currently at $14, you are looking at potentially a 60% gain in a very short space of time. Because when these alts pump, and they will, you are going to make a very quick gain on Chainlink. My personal goal for Chainlink this bull run, I'm going to say $100, but I'm going to say $80 to $100. That's a 6x, 7x from where we are. Again, it's not going to change the world. It's not going to make you incredibly rich, but it's still going to give you multiples of your investment back. It's going to make a fortune, and the reason it's going to make a fortune is very simply, if you look at what it's doing with blockchains and real life companies, this is why it is going to be I'm not going to call it the killer app. Okay, most of you have heard of Cisco, I imagine, out there. CISCO. What does Cisco do? Cisco keeps the internet working. Do you ever see Cisco mentioned anywhere? Do you ever see it on billboards? Do you ever see it mentioned with Jim Cramer? Do you ever see anybody mention Cisco? No. At one point, and I don't know if it's the case these days, probably isn't. At one point, Cisco and Cisco routers process 97% of international worldwide internet traffic. 97%. And what did it do? It connected all the dots, all the routers between London and Paris, between Frankfurt and Berlin, between any other major hub in Europe or America, went through Cisco routers. Chainlink is going to be Cisco. It connects everything together. It has what's called CCIP. And I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of it, but it allows data and crypto to flow through securely between one chain and another, or off-chain. So they're talking to Visa and MasterCard. They are able to send US dollars across different chains. It's going to be massive. I cannot stress enough. I've listened to a couple of other crypto streamers that I do believe are fairly sensible these days, and they were asked to pick their 3 biggest cryptos of this bull run. Number 1 they picked was Solana. I don't think we need to say why. Number 2 they picked Chainlink, of course, what I'm telling you now. And thirdly, they normally pick their own project. So if I was one of these shillfluencers and you said to me, what are your top 3 projects? I'd probably say, I don't know, Ethereum, Solana, and then Random Mike Coin, because Random Mike Coin is going to 1000x. And you know damn well what they're doing. It's immoral at best. But Chainlink is one of those coins. It's not sexy. We talk about sexy all the time. It's not Bonk. It's not Solana. It's not Ethereum. It's not Bitcoin. It just does the stuff in the background. Okay? Back in the olden days when I used to watch football, Dennis Irwin was a footballer, a defender for Manchester United. Nobody said a word about him in a match. He just got on with his job. After he retired, he was the best defender that the Premier League has ever seen. No one ever mentioned him. He just got on with his job. That's what Chainlink is. It just gets on with its job. And that is why I'm so bullish on it. Now, what it's done here is and this is again bullish for Avalanche. This is now allowing data streams to flow onto Avalanche. Now, this can be anything, by the way. So if Avalanche wanted to have its own DEX, its decentralized exchange, it would need real-time data on the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum and synthetic Bitcoin, all that kind of stuff. That would come through Chainlink as well. Very similar to how Pyth is doing it over on Solana. That's probably the second biggest oracle at the minute. But Chainlink for me is more than an oracle. So Chainlink data streams provide low latency, high throughput market data to enhance DeFi on Avalanche. And the GMX V2 utilizes the Chainlink data streams for improved speed and security of its decentralized exchange. So again, bullish on Chainlink, bullish on Avalanche. We're pleased to help power the next generation of high throughput DeFi products on Avalanche through Chainlink data streams, said Johan Eid, Chief Business Officer at Chainlink Labs. By offering unmatched speed and resiliency, data streams enable DeFi protocols to provide ultra-fast. We don't need to talk about that. So, all in all, again, it's just another step. Now, the irony of all of this is that I think they're called the Chainlink Commanders or something like that. Chainlink Army, I don't know what they're called. But they were actually getting very bearish about Chainlink and being very negative towards Chainlink because Chainlink doesn't do anything and they haven't got any partnerships and they're not building any real world value. And this was probably a year ago that they were having this conversation about how bad Chainlink was. Probably back when, you know, the markets were at $16,000, $17,000, $18,000. All Chainlink has done for the last year is put out this kind of news. So for me, massively bullish for Chainlink, and it's going to get to the point where any blockchain worth its salt is going to be plugged into Chainlink. And there is, I mean, similarly, you've got the AG layer from Polygon, which is pooled liquidity, but independent chains. That is something else that I think a lot of blockchains need, which is to share the liquidity. But for me, this CCIP, this connectivity between different blockchains using Chainlink is secure. Where do most of the hacks happen? Poorly executed contracts, poorly audited contracts. Chainlink solves that problem. So for me, Chainlink is an absolute buy for me. Again, not financial advice. I hold Chainlink, yes, I'm massively bullish on it, but nobody's ever paid me to say anything about Chainlink. Now, 4 cryptos that could hit all-time highs in July. I love these articles simply because I normally disagree with 75% of their content. A couple of questions have come in, which I will read. Punk will get to the market cap that Brett has by the end of the bull run. More than likely, yes. Tariq, some guy said ICP is useless because it has an endless supply of coins. Is that true? I'll go and have a look for you. Just because a coin has an endless supply doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go to zero, because if it was going to go to zero, it would already have done that. So you would need to look at the emissions rate. And again, we will go and have a look at that for you, and I'll let you know on the next stream. But I've got ICP. I hold ICP because ICP is, I mean, it's not quite on the scale of Chainlink, but it's still doing a lot of useful, sexy and unsexy things. So for me, I'm still a fan of ICP. But bear in mind, I'm a fan of all of these projects. Come the end of the bull run, I'm emptying my bags. Chainlink will be sold, my ICP will be sold, my XRP will be sold, my Solana, it's all going to be sold. I am not married to anything. I will sell them all. And I will reassess that statement in August next year. But for now, I'm selling them all. The only thing I'm not thinking of selling at the minute is Bitcoin. And that's because I don't know. I don't know whether everything is going to become shallower in terms of the dips on Bitcoin. That's my issue. But I do think there's a bloodshed coming in a couple of years' time when some of these projects start to go bust, especially when they start to run out of money. So for cryptos that could hit all-time highs in July, let's have a look then, shall we? Now, July is 3 days away. BNB, do I think BNB will hit all-time highs in July? Yes. Why? Very simply, they have launch pools and they have mega pools, and they've introduced staking for BNB, so it will break all-time highs. What you've got to understand about BNB is it goes in waves. When there aren't any launch pools and there's nothing associated with that airdrop, then the price drops. As soon as things come out, the price goes up. So given that we're already at $575, I would expect it to break all-time highs. Absolutely, certainly, without a shadow of a doubt, it will hit all-time highs. I sold 25% when Bitcoin was at 71,600. The monthly chart was so overheated, I was loading up all bear under 20k. Yeah, I think that's not a bad move, especially if you got in at 20k. You've made 3x your money. I think so, definitely. However, the issue that I've got is if you don't trade from 1 week to the next, and you know the end of the bull run is going to be, let's say, autumn next year, November next year, and you're just packing your bags for that date, then I think short-term price action shouldn't matter to you. So does Bitcoin go to 58,000? Yes, I don't care. Does Bitcoin go to 75,000? Yes, I don't care. When Bitcoin hits the end of the bull run, I will care a lot. But for now, I am just stacking sats. Every week, I am adding $100, $200 of Bitcoin. I'm adding my Ethereum, probably adding another $150, $200 of Ethereum a week. A month, sorry. So I don't care about the short-term price action, but if you are more involved, you can take advantage of price action, absolutely. So for BNB, do I think it'll break all-time highs in July? Yes, I do. I agree with that one. I think the burn is decent. The limited supply is decent. Now they've introduced staking. That's taken it to a new level. I was buying BNB at $200 last year, and now it's, what, 575. So it's done a 3x in that time. That's not too bad. But again, I'm going to sell it all of it. It's all gone, apart from maybe Bitcoin. So Casper is the buzzword at the minute because a lot of miners have started to mine Casper. And a lot of people are huge fans of Casper. But remember, what are the miners going to do with that Casper? They're going to mine it and they're going to sell it. They're not going to mine it and sit on it. So you're going to have an awful lot of sell pressure on Casper, and I don't know whether I would agree with that, in my opinion. Obviously, everything's going to go up in the bull run. We could hit $1 on Casper, fine. What I mean is shorter term, if we have all of these miners mining Casper, they're going to have to sell it to pay for their equipment and pay for their overheads. So I'm not too sure Casper, I would put Casper, but BNB, yes, Casper, no. Pendle. Now, that's an interesting one. The liquidity protocol, I have looked at this. 525 to 750, yes, absolutely. I think we're going to have June isn't so much of a great month for Bitcoin. July is a little bit better, and then we get a lot better towards September. I do think we're going to have a rally in the alts at some point over the next couple of months, especially when interest rates come down. So do I think it could go up to over $7.50? Yes, I do. But I'm not invested in Pendle enough to say whether it's going to go and smash $10 or anything like that. So one yes, one no, and one maybe. Now, Brett, this is an interesting one. This one won't go away. DCA does win. Yeah, absolutely. DCA does win. I think the thing with Brett, the reason I'm laughing is I remember what I said about Brett. I think I made a very quick video about it, or I mentioned it. Now, Brett is a base meme coin. It's the biggest one over on Brett. And I think I covered Baojing a couple of weeks ago. Hasn't done well. Tanked. All videos are tanking at the minute. Can't win it. Can't get a break. But I think Brett is actually going to hang around. And the reason it's going to hang around is because of its big daddy that's sitting behind it. So I think Brett could be a surprise in the bull run. I'm not going to buy any, and I'm not going to hold any, but it's worth taking a look at. It is a meme coin, remember that. There's no chart for it, is there? They don't put a chart in here on it. Oh, there we go. Now, I mean, that's pretty bullish for Brett. I mean, again, it's a meme coin. If you haven't got enough meme coins, go and have a look at Brett. You know what? This isn't actually too bad. 2 positives, 1 neutral, and 1 negative. I wouldn't be buying Casper. I think the minor sell pressure will be too much. I'd certainly look at Brett, I'd certainly look at BNB, and I'm fairly neutral on Pendle. I remember looking at Pendle and being impressed, and it will probably break its all-time high this cycle. And anything that's DeFi is going to do well going into the bull run, because people are going to want to park their gains, if you like, and earn a yield on them. So, you know, DEXs, DeFi platforms, Camino Finance is going to do incredibly well in this bull run on Solana, simply because people are going to have loads of Solana to stake. So I think, yeah, BNB, yes. Brett, yes. Pendle, neutral. Cass, no. That would be my comments on those. Right then. That, believe it or not, is it. And it is just gone 5 past. Now, yesterday, our stream cut out about now, which was really weird. Any other comments? ICP is trash. I'm 45% down on ICP. Again, we are going to see a relief rally. And if you are not happy with ICP, if you are not happy with Link, or if you're not happy with any of those other coins, what I would suggest doing, if you're going to rebalance, what I would suggest doing is wait for the next rally, take your profit. ICP, was my worst performing coin for 9 months of last year, and it did nothing for 9 months. And then with everything else, it ripped to the upside. And I said last November about coins that don't move, and I said BNB and Matic didn't move. They're due a move. And lo and behold, November or December last year, or maybe even January, I can't remember when it was, BNB and Matic both moved up on the same day. So if you are in ICP, or you're in Chainlink, or you're in other coins that you don't like, timing your exit is just as important as timing your entry. So dollar cost averaging into a coin is just as important as dollar cost averaging out. And I'm still bullish on ICP. It's in one of my portfolios along with XRP. XRP has been battered from pillar to post, and it's again, once the court case is cleared up, anytime now, that is going to be more bullish news for XRP. I am not going to sit here and say XRP is going to $600, but I do think it will go I think it will go to $3, $4, $5, $6 in the bull run. Absolutely. And then it's going to do well. But again, that's my personal opinion. You are entitled to have your own. Again, there are other coins that will come out. The portfolio video that I made 2 weeks ago, keep an allocation of cash to the side, 5 or 10%. We are going to see runners come from the pack in this bull run. Solana was nowhere in the last bull run, hit $250. There's going to be something that none of us have seen coming, or maybe the lucky ones have seen coming, that's going to come and surprise everybody in this bull run. And we probably don't know what that is yet. It's probably not going to start until February, March next year. But something's going to come through from the pack. Somebody's going to get a deal or a partnership with Microsoft or Google or something like that, and it's going to become a huge asset. So keep some cash to the side. When you're in profit, take some profits. Take some cash out and put it to one side. You don't have to sell off everything, but take some cash. Now then, that is it for the show. It's 12:07. If nobody's got any more questions, we're going to go. Remember, if you're new here, smash the like button and give us a follow. We're nearly at 142,000 followers. The target is 200,000 by the end of the year. Who knows if we're going to get there? We're probably going to fall short. But if we get anywhere near 200,000 by the end of the year, I will be more than delighted. We are probably going to be back tomorrow. It's Saturday at 11 a.m. Remember, we stream every day, Monday to Saturday at 11 o'clock, and we do 2 9 p.m. streams where we look at charts, we look at coins. You can ask for a chart to be looked at, and the Oracle himself will give you that price action. Last night, he streamed for 2 hours. 2 hours straight last night. He must have gone through 15 different coins. I know Reza was in chat. I know Tariq was in there. I think Peter might have popped in as well. Solo Sky, a few of the regulars were in there. So twice a week he does that, normally Mondays and Thursdays. So we technically stream 8 times a week. which is not bad considering at this moment in time there's only 2 of us. We need to get bigger. We need to do more things. We need to implement things. But anyway, enough of that. I'm going on. Thank you, Mags. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. See you all tomorrow. Hope you all have a great weekend if you don't see us tomorrow. Remember, go out, touch grass, look at the sky. I think it's about to rain here, but look at the sky. Enjoy yourself and take care, everybody. See you all soon.